Tonight, the countdown is on to a critical summit in Alaska between President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. President Trump has warned Russia there will be severe consequences if Putin continues the war in Ukraine. CBS's Willie James Inman is live in Anchorage, Alaska. And Willie, there is a lot riding on this meeting.
Hey there, Lisa. Good afternoon to you. There certainly is. And President Trump says he will know within the first few moments of that summit with President Putin of Russia if the leader is serious about peace. President Trump says Russian President Vladimir Putin does not want to mess with him ahead of their face-to-face meeting Friday to discuss ending the war in Ukraine.
I think that President Putin would like to see a deal. I think if I weren't president, he would take over all of Ukraine.
The president once again stressed that the more important meeting will be one that includes Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky.
I think President Putin will make peace. I think President Zelensky will make peace. We'll see if they can get along.
When asked if he will offer Putin access to rare minerals in exchange for ending the conflict, President Trump said, "We're going to see what happens." The two leaders will meet for the first time since 2019 at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson outside of Anchorage. But going in, many see the summit as a win for Putin.
For Putin, it's his opportunity to try to strengthen that bond with President Trump.
Andrea Kendall Taylor is a former U.S. intelligence official who specialized in Russia.
I think to me this summit is first and foremost Putin's ploy to buy more time as he continues a major offensive in Ukraine's east and continues to pummel Ukrainian cities.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky met with the British Prime Minister Thursday to discuss tomorrow's meeting. Ukraine is not part of the summit, but European leaders have urged President Trump to push for a full ceasefire before discussing exchanging any territory. Now, if tomorrow's meeting is successful, President Trump floated the idea of a second summit that would include himself, Presidents Putin and Zelensky, and potentially some European leaders, David.
All right, Willie James Inman in Anchorage, Alaska, thank you so much.